Hello, everyone. This is Zorina Dimitrova, host of the Grow and Learn podcast and of Heal and Learn YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is also available on bitshoot.com and odyssey.com, so do check us out there if you prefer these platforms. I'm here today with somebody really interesting. As usual, I bring you very interesting people, experts in alternative methods of personal development, of healing, of spirituality, of incorporating business and spirituality, and many others. And today I have Ogi Karam with me, who is a corporate shaman. Welcome, Ogi. This is a very bold statement, a corporate shaman. People usually imagine like, I don't know, somebody with an eagle feather or somebody smoking pipes. What do you do in a corporation? What is a corporate shaman?
Yeah, it is indeed a very bold statement, like I am bold as well, as you see, and it requires really a lot of courage to go to this structure and to say, oh, I want to give you a little bit more insights about how are the things beyond your perspective that you see. And yeah, corporative shaman is someone who is connecting the world of business and the world beyond, which we say it's like a spiritual world or an energetical world, or let's say it's the world of the principles, because, for example, every business, every big corporation has the foundation of certain principles. You cannot think of big corporation without these principles. Yeah, so these principles, there are in another world, they cannot be measured with our physical in our physical realms. So people who are founding big corporation, they know what I'm talking about. So
maybe
yeah,
before we
tell me.
continue, Ogi, because
Tell me.
it's a very interesting topic, and I know a few people that are also dipping their toes, so to say, in the energetic world in a business environment, and for some of them it's actually been quite successful so far. So there are people combining astrology and business. There are people doing kinesiology and business, so they can tell you where the energetics of a company is there's something wrong with it by just using kinesiology.
A blockage. Yes,
a
blockage.
Yes. Yeah, so there are different things that I've heard, and they do work, and they're sought after. But before that, I'd like to talk a little bit about you so that people know who is in front of us. So you're working currently in a very large corporation, and on the product side, and you've currently started or are in the process of founding a chapter on mental health that is going to serve this corporation. Can you tell us a bit about the purpose of this and what drove you to start this initiative?
Yeah, the purpose of this chapter is first to start a conversation about mental health. Because we first need to talk about this topic. This is really very important, that we acknowledge that there is something like a mental health and well-being after COVID, after 1.5 years working from home, working in this condition, under stress, under so many circumstances. We need to acknowledge, we need to talk about these issues at work, and this should be something very normal, and people should be should feel also that they are in a safe psychological environment when they speak about these issues. Otherwise, these things are getting suppressed, and at certain point we see people that are having burnouts, or there are even worst cases that I don't want to here to talk about, but people can go beyond what we think, and we really need to take care of the people mental health, well-being before it's too late. So now this is a necessity. Now we need to do it. It's not a just a comedy it's not something that we do for a PR work. It's something that we need to do in order for the corporation and as a structure to survive the new challenges of the new time.
Maybe if I could add here that from my observation, most companies,
Yes.
Most people in companies say, well, that's something the company should do, but employees are a part of the company. So clearly
Absolutely.
somebody needs to take a responsibility. It's not like a company, somebody invisible should take action, but actually each and every one of the employees is responsible for each other. And if your colleague, if you hear the bad news on the phone because somebody has has gone beyond normality and something terrible has happened to them, who is responsible then? Do you carry responsibility, or is the company that is not a physical person responsible for that? Each of the people that are a part of the company are responsible for taking action and for taking care of their fellow human beings.
Indeed, Zori, this is true. However, think about business goals.
Yeah.
How many managers are putting well-being, happiness, or mental health as a business goal? They are like, oh, we need to increase the revenue. We will invest. We will do this and that with the numbers, with the markets, but they forget. It's like, like like well-being, happiness. It's nice thing, but let's focus on the real thing about
on the hard measures. Yeah.
Yes. So, and then they forget, and at certain points, like during this COVID thing, during this pandemic, we forgot about the foundation. And I think we see how companies now have really big problems. They don't even want to acknowledge it because they are not prepared for this problem. And
It's a shift
it's
in
coming
mindset
from
of a company, because
yeah.
I don't know if you've watched I made a video recently with Mike Amato, who has gone through this whole process of company transformation years ago, even before COVID. And he has proven results that when you focus on the grassroots initiatives, on the soft, when you put soft targets like this one, well-being.
What is soft? What is soft target?
Soft targets is like the well-being of people.
Yeah, I want to challenge people to think about soft skills as a human skills, because
no, I mean targets, not skills. Soft targets, like
okay.
well-being targets, like the environment, rating of the environment that you work in. These are soft targets, and when you start putting soft targets, actually it translates in hard results. So it translates to the bottom line. You get better results, even if you think that you can only tweak with hard targets. Like setting, this is the revenue I want to achieve. These are the costs that I want to achieve. But it actually works much better the other way around.
Yeah.
So
still Zori.
Go ahead.
Still Zori, I will say we need to replace the soft skills, or what you refer as soft, to be called a human. It's a human goal. We as a human want to be happy. We want to experience this life as a journey where we grow, right? And we want to be joyful. This is our need as a human being. During this time, if we can contribute to a certain organization for its growth, for adding values with our skills, for the life of others through our products, through our services, is great. I think if people are happy, they are more productive. They come up with genius ideas. They are not machines, right? So indeed, managers should consider these human skills or human goes as something very important now, because we are developing machines and artificial intelligence is growing. What will happen when we have sufficient growth in this area? Have we forgotten how, for example, to communicate with humans? Because now we have human machine interaction, but we are lacking of human interaction, especially the generation grown up now during COVID, seeing these things happening, uh, communicating through the devices, which these devices, they give you only two senses, the visual one and the auditive one. They are not getting you the whole spectrum of the sensational world we are living in. So yeah, I think the human part of the business will come now, and we need to acknowledge it. And
Have
great
you
that people are
have you
already thinking about this.
have you checked if there were improved results already in the chapters of your company that is operating globally, the company that you work in? Have you checked if they have reported improved results where they are founded chapters?
Um, this initiative is still very new for Europe. Uh, what I saw is that in USA they have already programs like a month of mental health, and they are investing also money in it. They have budget, they have sponsorship. For me, this speaks for acknowledging the purpose of this chapter. I haven't checked for results, to be honest. For me, numbers are not so relevant, because after 1.5 years of this COVID restrictions and this abnormal way of work from home that nobody was prepared for, uh, I think we should not take so much time to look at the numbers, because if you have a contact with people, for example, I'm a more human-centric person, and I talk with people. I don't look at the statistic, and I'm talking with lots of people who are working from home in different corporations, companies, and everybody at some extent feels this pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it doesn't matter in which position they are. I have spoken with people in different positions. Doesn't matter. If you are a manager, you have a burnout. If you are just normal employee, you have burnout. And this is how it is. So there are numbers for people who want to have the statistic. There are so many studies now. Uh, You can check. It's just for me, I know there is a problem. I don't need the numbers. I'm getting the numbers in order to present them to the managers who wants to see the numbers. For me, there is a problem. You know,
Yeah.
if it's like you see a person, you already see that he is ill. But in order to him to believe that he is ill, you need to present him the results, the medical result, the results.
Yeah.
So I don't need the results. I see the illness already.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I answered your question, but
Perfectly. Yes. Thank you very much. No, no, absolutely. I mean, we are clear. We are constantly hearing anyhow about numbers skyrocketing of suicides. Let's call it as it is.
it
I
is
only
indeed.
have heard of, or I've only checked numbers in the UK because they're very widely available. And it's something like ×5 increase in these numbers, and which is really terrifying.
But when we talk about humans' life, I don't think we need to talk about numbers. You know,
Yeah.
this is my approach. Even when one person is getting killed by this, it's already an issue
Yes.
in a company. So
Hmm.
yeah, um,
So okay, and then Here comes the shaman, the corporate shaman.
Well, to be honest, I would love to have this shaman before all of this happens, because I'm a person who prefers preventative measures than dealing with the problem. It's like the Baywatch, who is taking care of the people on the beach, and he's putting his awareness, his intention to prevent that they are
Drowning.
drowning,
Yeah.
drowning.
Mhm,
Exactly.
mhm.
So uh, now the corporate shaman should come in order to heal companies, in order to heal big organization, big groups of people, communities, even states. We see this is happening all over the world. So he, I will read a very good definition what a corporate shaman is. I found it in internet, so I can only say it's quoted. A corporate chairman is a wise and knowledgeable leader of a business who uses certain practices that ensure the health of the company and keep it well. However, if perchance the company does become sick, the corporate shaman searches for ways to heal it. She or he may bring it in coaches, pray, schedule times with managers, recognize employee birthdays, promote the use of suggestion box or other methods to restore well-being. So there is not a recipe how it's done. Uh, for sure, what I can say from my perspective is the corporate shaman is looking at the corporation as one whole, as one body. What also corporation means is a body that is. So he's looking at the whole. He's not looking only at the CEO or only at the managers. He's looking how everything is working together. And most of the time, the problems might be in the uh, missing connections between the above and at the bottom. So, like in our body, the cells in the brain, from the one level to another level. Maybe the management wants something, but still it gets to the bottom. It's not always the same, and it's the same. This circulation of information of actions. It's there are blockages, as you already mentioned. So the work of the corporate shaman is to detect these issues. Um, and I also get some insight about it that a corporate shaman is taking the poison and is experiencing the issues on himself, but with awareness in order to see the problems. It's very important that he doesn't identify himself with the problem or with the illness, which is he can see it, he can feel it, but this is part of his journey to find a solution. This is what also a normal shaman will do.
Yeah.
And actually, the shamans were mostly people who were connected already with a tribe. It's just now when we say corporate shaman, it's more implicit of the modern world. Because if
Mhm.
I say just a shaman, people will think about these things
Mm.
that, as you said, in the feather and the pipe. But, we are not living in tribes as, back in the days. We are committing every 5 days, 8 hours a week to no 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day, uh, to work for a certain purpose in a certain corporation group of people. This is our tribe, or one of our tribes, and we are building with our intention, with our work. We are building together one entity. It's an entity.
Yeah.
It's a real entity. So the founder of this entity would have for sure much better connection with it, because he was envisioning this company from the beginning. So yeah.
Very cool. So let's just briefly say, because it's not a secret, the company you work for is Amazon, without stressing too much. It doesn't need advertisement, but just to say that they're the ones that are that have started this well-being initiative that you are now taking on as a chapter in Spain. You're located in Spain, but you're Bulgarian. What do the what is it called on the shirt? The embroideries on the shirt, what do they mean?
Embroidery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the embroidery on the shirt. Well, this is totally different topic. We should talk about it maybe another time.
Yeah. But just to say that every embroidery, it has an imprint, an energetic imprint, and a meaning. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in English it will be translated as a seed, like žitno zrno, or is it
corn seed?
like
Not corn, but wheat seed.
Yes, wheat. Something like this. But I mean, for sure, there is a totally different
meaning behind it, right?
Topic. Yeah, that we can talk. What I can say about my origin as a Bulgarian is that we are very underestimated as a country. And when I'm talking about my origin, normally I ask people to search in Google for the oldest goat in the world, and I'm just like, okay, just ask Google, because he's like objective now. When Google knows something, this is what it is. So, and when people type the oldest goat in the world, they come to my city, because my city is the city of Varna, and it has the oldest goat in the world. Then I tell them that we have also the most precise calendar in the world, that Bulgaria never changed his name. We were always Bulgaria from our
founding,
the grounding, exactly. And yeah, and when I start to talk about my origin and my country, at some point they say, okay, don't talk so much. It's, like too much. And like, no, these are facts. When you talk about the things that are proven, it's not bragging. It's not like, hey, I'm showing off. No, this is how it is. And we Bulgarians, we astrologically are under the sign of Capricorn. And people who are into astrology, they know that Capricorn is connected with organizations, with countries, with structures. And that's why, for example, we have in Bulgaria more than 30 mountains. Very small country, very, very small, but more than 30 mountains. And we as a Bulgarian, we have this great connection with Earth, with the mountain. During the hardest time in our history, we went to the mountains and we found refuge there. We were fighting on Shipka with rocks, because our warrior didn't have guns. So exactly. Yeah. So we are very connected to nature, very connected to our earth, very into creating structures. I also describe a Bulgarian as someone who is stepping on the ground, on earth, and looking high and in the sky into eternity. Because for us, when something has history, or when something is ancient, For us, this is valuable. And we as a Bulgarian, we tend to do things that will echo in eternity. We are doing things and with with a mindset this will last forever or this will last centuries. And we like it. We like to create these things. So there is some certain thing that we possess, and I think a corporation, international company, should appreciate this unique part that we can contribute for their DNA in order to sustain, So
contributing to the long-term vision, the creating of things that are more sustainable.
Yeah, sustainable. Exactly.
So apart from being a corporate shaman, you also organize team building events and consult executives. So the team building events potentially could be organized in Bulgaria, I suppose. It might help people. Is this what you?
Yes, yeah. People tend to maybe look at the corporation as a machine, However, a corporation should be looked more organically, because if you have one being with a people inside it, and people are living beings, so they are influenced by the natural cycles, by the emotions, by so many things. It's an organic being. So you need to connect to organic knowledge. For example, you look at our inventions and our way how we build things, like the houses, the street, the computers, all the objects, and we are so into praising the straight line,
right?
Because we can create straight lines, which is, from my perspective, very limiting and has nothing to do with the real life beyond. Because look at me as a human being, look at the animals, look at the trees, look at the life itself. Where you will find a straight line? Where? Do I have a straight line?
I don't know, maybe one of your bones, a fraction of it, maybe it's a straight line, but apart from that.
No, you never find a straight. Zori, if you find a straight bone in a living being, call me. If somebody is watching this and finds in a living being, a straight line, a perfect straight line, contact with me, because I was searching for a straight line in the organic nature, which is, going with the laws of the cosmos and the life in the universe. There is no straight line. That's why, for example, I'm in Barcelona, and that's why we speak about Barcelona of Gaudi, because Gaudi was telling the same. He was amazing. He was more than just an architect, and he was doing all of his architecture without a straight line. He was so obsessed of showing people that there is no straight line. There is no straight line. So going into the nature as a CEO, as a manager, just connecting to life as it is, looking 1 or 2 hours through a forest, just looking this chaotic. This is not like how we will construct our life. This is chaotic. It's the natural way of growing here and there, and then your mind, even if you're not willing to accept it, but your mind will absorb this natural organic way of the things. And for sure, if you want to go further, you can as well. But I think this is very important also for people, even to walk barefoot in nature, this can also give them the sensation to be more close to Earth. And for sure, I mean, when we talk about team buildings or seminars for executive managers and so on, why not go into the mountains? Why not go and just talk during a hike, for example? Why should we stay in these artificial rooms, in this artificial business environment? Because if you have a problem on a certain level, you cannot solve this problem on the same level. You need to go higher. So I think nature has proven that she is our mother, and we, as her children, are saying that we want to save our mother. We want to save Earth, which is not possible because Earth will survive. We should think how we will survive. Now, all the things that are coming as a climate change and so on. And to be honest, the leaders of tomorrow, the leaders of the future, they will be more connected to Earth. There will be people who will take more responsibilities and more responsibilities about the life on Earth, about how everything is interacting on this planet. So it will be a good start for managers, decisions maker to show how we can connect to nature and how important it is to connect with nature. And later they can teach the younger generation who will take their places in maybe 10 or 15 years or 20 years to show them how they can incorporate this connection to nature with the business world. They can be the future mentors of the new generation, because the new generation will seek for solution in terms of ecology, of climate change. So they will need this mentorship for sure.
Yeah. Well, I completely agree with that because I know of studies that have been done when people change the colors of their room or the colors of schools or the interior of an office, when they put more plants around, how actually the whole climate changes in a company. So naturally, if you follow the same path, it's absolutely normal than if people are put outside. And exactly as you said, in a more wild environment rather than in a park that it's already been molded by the human hand. So you need to take people actually completely in the wild nature to be able to open their mind, restructure their way of thinking, because the mind also mirrors what you see
Exactly. Yes.
in the environment. All right, wonderful. Ogi, I suggest we end it here. We're going to come back again with more information about corporate shamanism. I really loved our conversation and the width that we went to. Where can people find you if they want to know more or if they are looking for somebody to consult them?
Okay, I have a website. It's ogikaram.com. And for sure, they can also connect with you. So now we have a connection, and for sure, I'm looking forward for initiative that we can do together based on my experience and yours and the team you have also around you, because I'm looking for a holistic approach. Maybe I have a certain expertise, knowledge, and skills. Other people have also their own, and I'm really looking for like a community that we can build, that we can give the solutions of the problems that are already existing.
Yeah. So if you're a business looking for somebody to restructure your company with fast turnaround results, looking from the human side, you can head on to www.grownlearn.org. and go to page Find Expert, where you will see the profiles that I collaborate, the profiles of the people that I collaborate with and what they're specialists in. So do check us out. The contacts will be below the video. Thank you very much, Ogi. Wonderful day, everyone, and thanks for listening.
Thank you.